Hello students, welcome to our fourth lesson, Fauzi meets Yuki. Fauzi meets Yuki. So can any one of you tell me what does it mean here? Fauzi meets Yuki and what is the term?
فوزي يلتقي
فوزي قابل ليوكي.
فوزي يتقابل
Yes,
لي
yes, very good.
فوزي
So what is the
قابل
tense
ليوكي.
here? Is it present or past?
present.
Yes, it is in the present because Fauzi meets Yuki. So meets here is a verb in the present. So how we can change the sentence to the past? So we can say Fauzi met Yuki. Yes,
Yuki.
very good. Yes, so in the past, so it will be like this. So this is in the present, and in the past we will write like this. So Fauzi, so met Yuki. Okay, so this is in the past, and this Fauzi meets Yuki is in the present. So now we will move to the first section, okay, of our lesson, and this is our lesson for today. It's on page 67. Fauzi meets Yuki. We have about 4 sections here. So we have section A, B, C, D. So now we will move to section A. So listen and read, then practice the introductions. So you have to listen carefully first, then I want you to practice these introductions, so I want you to read them. Now we will start. I want you to listen carefully.
Track 37. Fauzi meets Yuki. Yuki and Fauzi meet for the first time.
Hello, are you Fauzi?
Yes, and you must be Yuki. Hello.
How do you do? Come and meet my parents.
Yuki introduces Fauzi and his father to his father.
This is my father. Dad, this is Mr. Salim, and this is Fauzi.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do? You are very welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for listening. So now, so this is Yuki meets Fauzi. So they meet, then he introduces his family to Yuki. So I want you now, I need 2 students. One will be Yuki and the other will be Fauzi. Yes, who's going to start?
I
Yes, Fatima,
I
yes,
can.
Fatima and Celine. Yes, Fatima, which one? The first, which raised her hand. So Fatima will be Yuki and Celine will be Fauzi. Sorry,
Okay.
we need another one, and we need Mr. Ona, who's going to be the third one. Yes, Rubin. Yes, Rubin will be the last one here, Mr. Ona. Okay. Yes, Fatima, can you start?
Hello, are you Fauzi? Yes, and you must be Yuki. Hello. How do you do? Come and meet my parents. This is my father. Dad, this is Mr. Salim, and this is Fauzi. How do you do, sir? How do you do? You are very welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. So Yuki, hello, are you Fauzi? So this is the first time they meet each other. Yes, are you must be Yuki, hello. How do you do? Come and meet my parents. So they came and to introduce his parents to him. This is my father. So he said that this is my father. Dad, this is Mr. Salim and this is Fauzi. So he introduces back the other 2. How do you do, sir? How do you do? You are very welcome. So this man said, you are very welcome at Yuki's uncle's house. So now we will move to the another conversation. So we have 2 paragraphs written here. Okay, at Yuki's uncle's house. Okay. Then they all went to Yuki's uncle's house by car. Yuki's father drove the car on the left. On the way, Fauzi noticed many other strange things. Some people were wearing traditional clothes. The signs above the shops were in Japanese. Fauzi couldn't understand a word, but it was a very interesting journey. At the house, Fauzi and his father met the rest of Yuki's family. Yuki's uncle is a huge man. At first, Fauzi was a little afraid of him, but Mr. Mitsubishi was very kind and friendly. Yuki's brother, Jiro, is 16. He's tall, thin, and very quiet. His sister, Riko, is the opposite. She is 7 and she talks a lot. She spoke to Fauzi in Japanese because she doesn't speak English. She laughs a lot too. Everyone was very friendly. So now I need 2 students, so one will read this and the other will read the rest.
Can I read? I can.
Yes,
I
so we
can.
have, yes, all of you will read. Okay, now, yes, Rubin, you will read this first. Okay, then Serene, you will read this. Okay, but yes, you can stop here. Yes, Rubin, you can stop here to journey, and Serene will start here. At the house, Fauzi and his father met and finished all the rest. Okay, yes, Fatima, you'll be next.
Then they all went to Yuki's uncle's house by car. Yuki's father drove the car on the left. On the way, Fauzi noticed many other strange things. Some people were wearing traditional clothes. The signs about the shops were in Japanese. Fauzi couldn't understand the words, but it was a very interesting journey.
Yes, Serene.
At the house, Fauzi and his father met the rest of Yuki's family. Yuki's uncle is a huge man. At first, Fauzi was a little afraid of him, but Mr. Mitsubishi was very kind and friendly. Yuki's brother, Jiro, is 16. He's tall, thin, and very quiet. His sister, Reiko, is the opposite. She's 7 and she talks a lot. She spoke to Fauzi in Japanese because she does not speak English. She laughs a lot too. Everyone was very friendly.
Yes, thank you so much, Rubin and Serene. Now I will read something and we want to explain it more deeply. Then they all went to Yuki's uncle's house by car. Yuki's father drove the car on the left. So what we mean here, Yuki's father drove the car on the left. So this is something strange. Yes, because he has to drive the car on the right. On the way, Fauzi noticed many other strange. So this is a strange thing happening here. What does it mean here, strange?
غريبة عليه.
Yes, something, يعني غريب, yes, strange things. Some people were wearing traditional clothes. So what we mean here? Wearing traditional clothes. So we mean here, this is the kimono here, the cloth is here. This is a traditional clothes. So Japanese clothes, they are traditional. So it is for Japanese only. So what we mean by traditional here? تقليدي.
زي تقليد.
Yes, traditional clothes زي تقليدي. The signs above the shops. What we mean by signs here?
علامات.
Yes, يعني
علامات على الأسواق.
على المحل. Yes, على الأسواق. They're in Japanese. That means they are written in Japanese language, not English. Fauzi couldn't understand a word, so he looks at the shops. They're written in Japanese and he can't understand anything. So he can't even read the words written on it. But it was a very interesting journey. So what does it mean here?
كانت رحلة مشوقة.
Yes, very good. So despite of all the things happened here, so it was a very interesting journey. At the house, Fauzi and his father met the rest of Yuki's family. Yuki's uncle is a huge man. So he is a huge man, very big man. At first, Fauzi was a little afraid of him. So what we mean by here? Afraid of.
خايف من
Yes, very good. But Mr. Mitsubishi was very kind and friendly. So he was afraid of him, but he is a good uncle. He is a good man. Not, you can't be afraid of him because he's kind and friendly. So he's a good man. Yuki's brother Jiro is 16. He is tall, thin, and very quiet. His sister Riku is the opposite. So he is quiet. So he doesn't talk too much. She is 7. So we talk about Riku, which is the opposite of her brother, sorry. Yes, she is 7 and she talks a lot. So she is 7, not 16 like him, and she talks a lot, not quite like him. Okay. She spoke to Fauzi in Japanese. So Fauzi doesn't understand Japanese or know the Japanese language because she doesn't speak English, and he also doesn't speak the Japanese. She laughs a lot too. Everyone was very friendly. Okay, so do you understand all the words we have written here?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Now we will move to the next section. So now we'll move to the workbook. So it is on page 67, section A. Read page 67 of your course book and find words that mean the following. So what we mean here, so we have some words here. So we have to find synonyms. So we have to find words that mean the same, but they have to be written here. So from the words. Okay, so now we will move here. Who's going to do the first one? Yes, Fatima?
I can.
Yes, Fatima will be the first. Celine, you will be the second. Yes?
Okay. While they were driving to the car on the way.
Yes. So we have to say like this, while they were driving to the house. So they are driving to the house. We can say on the way. So on the way, that means it is the same like driving to the house. So we can say they are the same meaning. Yes, they are the same meaning. يعني نفس المعنى. So what about the second one?
Saw, notice it.
Yes, notice it. Notice it. What we mean here, so
Notice it.
yes, so we see something, we can say so in the past, and notice, يلاحظ, noticed, لاحظ. So they are the same meaning. So we can say I saw him, and we can say I noticed him. So it is the same meaning. Okay,
Yes.
who's going to do number 3?
Can I?
Yes, Rubin.
I can.
Yes, Rubin.
New to him, strange.
Yes. So new to him, so that means we can say he doesn't know him. So it's new, that means he is the first time he see him, we can say it is strange. So new to him, it is the same as strange. So what about the fourth one? So what do we mean by modern?
I can.
Modern? Modern? Yes, Serene, what does it mean here? Modern?
جديد.
Yes, very good. أو حديث. Yes. So the opposite of modern, it is?
Traditional.
Yes, traditional. Yes. So this is the opposite of this. So what about the fifth one? Yes, Fatima.
Names and notices. Signs.
Yes. So we say that the signs are the things that we put in. So on the shops or supermarkets. So we can say names and notices. They are the same meaning of signs. So what about the sixth one?
Could not understand a word.
I can.
Yes, yes, Rubin. Yes, Rubin. Can you read this part and this part? And Celine, you will be the seventh one, and Fatima will be the last one. Yes,
Okay.
Rubin.
Didn't know the meaning of, could not understand the word.
Yes, so they are the same meaning. We can say didn't know the meaning of or couldn't understand a word. So this is the same as this. So what about the seventh one, Celine?
The other people in Yuki's family, the rest.
So what we mean by the rest here?
الباقي.
Yes,
الباقي.
yes, we mean by the other people. So they are the same meaning. So what about the last one?
Frightened by, afraid of.
Yes, so they are the same meaning. Frightened by, so he is afraid of something. Yes, so they are the same meaning. So did you understand all the things we have here in section A?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Now we'll move to section B. Answer these questions about the text on page 67 of your course book. So here we have many questions, so I want you to answer them. Okay, so who's going to do number 1? And who's going to do number 3? And who's going to do number
I can.
2 and number 3? Yes, Serene.
Okay.
Yes, who's going to be number 1? So 1 is only one question, 2, 3 questions, 3, 2 questions.
I can answer.
Yes, which one? 1, 2, or 3, Serene?
Anything.
Yes, you'll take the second one. Okay, Serene.
Okay.
Okay, yes. What about you, Fatima?
Number 3.
Okay, number 3. Yes, Rubin will be number 1. Okay. Yes, Rubin.
What was the first strange thing that Fauzi noticed? Cars drive on the left.
Yes, so the first thing was strange that the cars drive on the left side and they have to go on the right side. So this is the first strange thing they saw or noticed. Yes, so what about your question, Serene?
Mr. Mitsubishi is his uncle and Jiro is his brother. Raiko is his sister.
Yes, thank you so much, Serene. Yes, Yuki's uncle, Yuki's brother, and Yuki's sister, which is Mr. Mitsubishi, Jiro, and Riko. Yes, so what about your questions, Fatima?
The tallest person in Yuki's family is Mr. Mitsubishi.
Yes, because he said that he's very huge. Yes. Yes. What the youngest?
The youngest is Riko.
Yes. Why? Because how old is she?
She's opposite his brother.
Yes, about 7. Yes, 7 years old, and her brother is 16 years old. Is it right? Yes, she's 7. Yes, she's 7, and we talk about Riku, which is 7 years old, and her brother, which is Jiro, I think it is about 16. Is it right or wrong? Yes, if we back here.
It's
yes,
right.
Yes, we can say here,
Yes.
Riku, it is the opposite. Yes, quite. So yeah, Riku is the opposite.
Riku is 7
yes,
years old.
yes, she is 7, and her brother is 16 years old. So this is 16 years old. Yes, very good. Yes, thank you so much, Fatima. Yes, so these are our answers. Now we will move to section C. So here we have Mr. Ono, Mr. Mitsubishi, Jiro, Mrs. Ono, and Riku. Yes, who can tell us the names of these people here? So what about number 1?
Number 1 is Mr. Mitsubishi.
Yes, very good. So what about the second one? So I think he's 7. Yes, Rico, 7 years old. So here we have Yuki. So I think he is about 16 years old. Yes.
Jiro.
Yes, Jiro. So what about the fourth one?
Mr. Ono.
Yes,
Mr. Ono.
very good. Yes, Mr. Ono. So what about the
Yuki's
last
mom.
one? Yuki's mom. Yes, which is Mrs. Ono.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, now we'll move to the next section. Okay, so we have, so these are my adjectives, so we have to put them here. Okay, so we have Compare
Yes.
the people. So we will compare the people. So you have to choose one of these words, but you have to put it in the correct form. So these are the adjectives. So Yuki is. So this is the first one. So you have to write it in the correct form as written here. Yuki is younger than. We can't say Yuki is young only, then we write than here. So we have to make it like a comparison because we are comparing here. Comparing, what does it mean? Comparing?
شيء مقارنة.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
يعني بنقارنه بين شيئين. So we had to add ER or EST. So when we compare, okay. Yes, who's going to do number one? Yuki, yes, is younger than Jiro.
I can.
But, yes, but
Yuki is bigger, older.
Yuki is younger than Jiro, but older than Rico.
Yes.
Yes, so he's يعني أصغر منه أكبر منه. Okay, Yuki is younger than Jiro, but older than Rico. So what about the second one? You have to choose one of the adjectives here.
Is taller and bigger.
Yes, Mrs.
Shorter.
is shorter and plumper than Mr. Owner. And what about the third one? Mr. Mitsubishi is
Bigger.
yes, bigger than Mr. Owner. So what about the fourth one?
Shorter.
Yes, Rico is the shortest. So what do we mean by bigger and shorter? Shortest. So what do we mean by shortest? So what is the difference?
الأصغر.
Yes, al-asghar. So it is when we use ER, so we are comparing two things. But when we add EST, that means it is the highest one. So Rico is the shortest person. يعني هي أصغر شخص in the family, and Mr. Mitsubishi is
Tallest.
yes, is the tallest.
Tallest.
Very good. Yes. Now we finished our lesson for today. Yes. Did you understand our lesson for today?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank
Yes.
you. Yes. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next class.
See you.
Yes. See you.
See you.
See you. See you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yes.